Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be doing some channeled messages from your person. There are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Unakite. Group 2 is the Agate. And group 3 is the Strawberry Quartz. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Unakite. So I'm going to be channeling directly. I'll pull some tarot cards, but then I'll be sort of just allowing messages to come through in the first person using I, me, and you. And then at the end, I will look at the zodiac signs and get some initials. So what does your person want you to know right now from their higher self, Group 1? Okay, we've got the Hierophant. Page of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, the Empress, Page of Swords, and the Page of Wands. I want a fresh start with you. I've been thinking a lot about you these last few days, going over in my mind why I walked away, why I allowed you to slip through my fingers, why I pushed when I should have pulled you in closer. I feel like such a fool, and I want to make things right, but I don't know how. I look at you and I see forever. I see the best of what is possible within me, and I also see just how far I still need to go to get there. I'm trying. I'm trying to build something within myself. I'm trying to look at all the dusty corners that I have neglected for so long, that caused me to lash out, push away the best thing that ever happened, all I ever wanted. I had my eye on you for so long. The idea of you, the energy of you, the image of you that was embedded in my cellular memory from lifetimes past, where you came into my world, shook everything up in the best possible way, and help me to move beyond my own limitations and loneliness. Yet again in this life I was presented with you. And I knew from the very moment that our eyes met that you were the one. And I planned, and I watched, and I allowed time to pass. Felt like a busy intersection, and I was just waiting for that break in the traffic to run towards you. And when that break came, I made it. I made it so far. I made it up onto that sidewalk where you are, where you have been waiting for me patiently, living your life and glowing to the best of your ability. And instead of taking your hand and walking forward toward whatever horizon waited for us, I turned and went the other way. I hadn't forgotten the reasons that had brought me to you. But when I was right there, on the precipice of everything I wanted, I panicked. I felt like a little child again. Words escaped me, and instead you were confronted with a part of me I never wanted you to see. This cowardice, this lack within me. I felt so uncertain when standing in your energy directly, if I had what it takes to maintain my autonomy, or was I simply to be absorbed in the wonder that is you? I panicked. That idea of losing myself and becoming something more than I had ever imagined through the power of this love, it overwhelmed and frightened me. Instead of leaning into that space of wonder, I allowed fear and hesitation and doubt to steer me in another direction, away from you. In the aftermath of that critical juncture, I think back, and I can't for the life of me figure out what motivated me to take the actions that I did. To slink away into the shadows, move back into that space I had struggled to transcend for so long. How am I back here on the outskirts of your life again? Why did I invest so much effort, so much will, so many sacrifices, so many promises in order to move mountains, shake up the world, and bring myself to the brink of you, only to pivot back, regress, and undermine all that I had worked for, silently and diligently and patiently within myself. Here I am again at the start, and there you are so far from me that it feels impossible at this point to undo what has been done. I want to try again. I'm thinking of a way to traverse this distance, but I'm not sure if you will have me. It was such a struggle to get through your walls before. And now that there's an openness there, now that I've found my way in once, and all that you asked of me was love. It's something so simple that I need to give in order to gain entry to your world again, and yet I am overcomplicating matters. I am intimidated by that thought, by the prospect of that, by letting go of these childish things, this version of myself that just stoops and settles and undermines and underestimates and is underestimated. You invite me to step into that best version of self. It's all we have ever wanted for each other. And yet I just can't let go of this sense of doubt that the best of me is something you will recoil from. It's something that will pivot us in time in different directions. And in the process of that, in the process of operating in this place of doubt, I have very successfully pivoted myself in a direction I struggled so long to move beyond. It's a vicious cycle. It's a cycle which round and round in my mind, all these little schemes, all these little plans, and it's just that. It feels so little. It feels so meaningless at this point in time. I'm having difficulty forgiving myself for what I have done in the past, what I have said, what I have failed to present to you, for the cowardice that I showed when you sought companionship, when you opened your heart to me, and I made you feel less than worthy. I made you question and doubt. I told you you needed to love yourself when it was me who was lacking in that love. I projected all of that upon you. And it has taken you on this journey where for so long you have been questioning the caliber of the light you hold within. Darling, it was never you. And I was so wrong in my words. And I wish that I could take them back. I feel small under the shadow of that. By making you feel that there was something flawed within you, I was hiding my own uncertainty, hiding that true face so that you wouldn't see the insecurity masked behind this smile and this gregarious confidence. I move through the world and act so aloof, but inside I am terrified. And you just simply are. You are you. In all of that flawed beauty. And it has always been so alluring and so intimidating for me. Because it's the exact opposite of what I am. Your authenticity, it just makes me look at how artificial I am to most people. How what is seen and what is known is just a glimpse of who I really am. And somehow you have seen beyond all of that, beyond these mirages and these illusions, these sleight of hands, this bargaining, these methods that I have employed to create something of what I think might be pleasing. What will draw the least bit of attention to this cracked core within me. You've seen beyond all of that. You've seen wholeness. You've seen that best of me. And you've pointed the way beyond my perceptions, that I too am a work in progress, that there is something flawed within me, something insufficient within me. And you've only ever made me feel like I am enough. The way I repaid you for that was pitiful. And I'm struggling to move beyond that. I feel you, and I see you, and you're perfect in my eyes, and you always have been. And I am amazed how that light within you so stubbornly and so insistently continues to shine. I'm sorry that I presented a detour for you made you search around for the flaws that are wonderful about you, that never truly existed about you. It's the fabric of who you are. Your love has always been enough. You have always been enough. And I'm sorry that I projected my own distortion and lack upon you. It was never you who needed to learn to love yourself. It has always been me. Thank you for showing me how that's done. Thank you for being so fearless in your journeying and your pursuit, which has led you back to the core reality and perfection of who you truly are. I'm watching and I am waiting for the moment to come forward. Once again, all I see is the busy traffic at that intersection. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that opening, and I see you there on the other side. And it is my hope that this time I can remain consistent in my pursuit of what it is that draws me towards you, which is to experience and reciprocate the fullest capacity of the love that you hold inside and that I am too. So those are your messages from your person group 1. In terms of signs with swords, we have air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Wands is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The Hierophant is Taurus. Pentacles is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Cups is water, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And the Empress is Taurus and Libra. So I'm going to get a few initials for you, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates. We've got V, O, S, and Z. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the Agate. So I'm going to be pulling some tarot cards and then channeling directly messages from your person in the first person tense, so using the pronouns of I and me and you. And then at the end, I'll go over zodiac signs and pull some initials. So what does your person want you to know from their higher self right now, group 2? have the Eight of Swords, the Five of Swords, Six of Swords, Knight of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, and Six of Pentacles. You don't know what you do to me. The thoughts of you, I can't escape them. There's times when I fight, when I want to resist, when I want to push you away, extinguish the memory of you, and yet you keep coming back. And I'm leaning into a space of surrender, of trust, and it's so hard for me. I thought I had my mind made up. I thought I had analyzed and assessed and quantified all the details, all the potential, all the feelings. I'd made the right decision. Moving away from you was the best thing for both of us. Everything is as it should be. But if everything is as it should be, why can't I get you out of my head? There's something that I'm not seeing, something that is very elusive. It's right on the tip of my awareness, and it troubles me. It's becoming an obsession. And there were times when I was very frustrated by this. But now I'm just watching. I'm waiting. I'm trusting for those answers to unfold in the time and manner in which they are meant to. I carve out periods of my day where I sit very silently, very hidden away from the world, and I call to you. I wonder if you know that. It often fills me with a sense of hope and possibility. It feels a little bit dangerous as well. What if you do hear me? What if these thoughts and that very deliberate seeking of you across the silence, what if you see me? What if you know of this? What if it brings you in closer? What if these are no longer just thoughts, but I find myself speaking these things out loud, taking steps towards you, reaching out, using my voice, cutting through the silence between the two of us? What then? That possibility of what if. It's tantalizing. And I'm nervous about it. This could be our first date all over again. I have that power in my hands, you know, to do something about this. And I keep turning that shiny object round and round in my fingers, like a jewel, like something I want to give, something that's worth investing, something that's worth holding on to. I don't want to toy with your emotions anymore. This feels like a game of cat and mouse, and I don't like it. I'm intimidated by the power that I hold in this situation. And so I try not to invest too much time or energy into this. I don't want to lead you on even from afar. And yet I can't help thinking of you. There seems to be something more to all of this, something more significant. And I'm just really wrapped up in my mind right now, trying to figure out what it all means. Where do we go from here? What happens if we begin again? Will it work out this time? Will I mess everything up like I've done before with you and with so many things in my life? I almost don't trust myself with all this power. This power to free both of us from confusion by making that declaration of certainty. Is it really time? Am I really ready? Or is there still more I need to figure out within myself first? Time continues to pass, and yet my feelings for you, they don't waver. They don't wane. They accompany me. You are my companion in so many ways. And I wonder if all we are ever meant to be is companions to one another in an energetic sense. And the thought of that makes me feel so lonely. I want to hold your hand. I want to touch your cheek. I want to bring you in close, and I want to never let you go. I want so bad to tell you all of this, to accompany those words with action that alleviates all the doubt and the cold space which has grown between us. I want to fill that with warmth and generosity. I want to give to you, make you feel worthy, make you feel seen, make you feel appreciated. I want to step into that role of companion and protector. I want us to guide each other forth through the uncertainty of these emotional waters and into whatever new horizon is waiting for us. I know I'm late, and I know that I've wasted a lot of time, and you've been so good in keeping the light on inside of you for me. I know you've tried to move forward in other ways and detach yourself, that you've felt at times that all this waiting has been in vain. I know you've questioned yourself, you've questioned your intuition, you've questioned what you're feeling from me from afar versus what I show you, which is this nothingness in the physical reality. And so there's a part of me that just wants to go silent energetically. I don't want to leave you waiting and expecting me to turn up, to be there right on the other side of that door, only to have you feel very stood up, like I've done to you so many times in the past. I know that sense of anticipation is palpable. I feel it from you too. I feel the evolutions as they take place. I feel the milestones that you reach. I feel the way that you are breaking slowly through all this heartache and all this history between us. And I'm happy for you. And I'm sad to see you go. And I know that I could do something about this. And I know that you miss me. I miss you so much. I miss you so much. I didn't think that losing you and pushing you away, and that cavern of time which has developed between us, I didn't think it would feel like this. And it has taken this experience for me to truly be able to perceive the depth and nature of what you mean to me. And I know that's a twisted logic. There are better ways to come to that point of conclusion. But I've taken the long road. I took the easy way out, and it has made things even more difficult for the both of us. This is a tendency within me. This is a trend. Too little, too late. That has been a theme. And it's that idea, that experience that I have had more than once in my life that keeps me in this place of just coveting you from afar. It keeps me in this place of carving out a special moment in my day where I call to you. And in that instant, we are one. And it's a small reprieve, but it reminds me that the distance is an illusion. And then I am reminded again that every second that passes creates more delay. It renders even more sufficient what I might have to say or do at this point in time. And what's become so real within me at this point is that wish that I had done something different. That I had remained more patient with the circumstances we were presented with. That I hadn't been so impulsive, hadn't just thrown in the towel so quickly. But had listened to my heart and that inner knowing that though there was to be struggle and a lot of uphill climbs, that it would be worth the battle. It would be worth the patience and the wide view that was necessary of a future beyond our immediate circumstances. That was the secret ingredient that would have allowed so much to bloom between us as it should have long ago. So now here we are. Both of us lonely, both of us longing for one another, both of us having the key and the lock within us and with which to unlock and unveil a greater potential that might grow in this circumstance. Both of us waiting, both of us feeling powerless to do much else. I'm thinking of you right now, and I can feel your heartbeat so synchronized with mine. And I don't know how or when or even if it's possible to mend this situation. But I'm thinking about it. I'm overthinking about it. I'm waiting for a sign or the way forward to be shown to me. I'm waiting for all that mind chatter to just stop, so that I can be brave and let my heart lead the way directly to you, as I should have done and allowed myself to continue to do long ago. I miss you. and I love you. And it's just as simple and as complicated as that. So those are your messages, group 2. In terms of signs, with the swords, we have air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Cups is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And Pentacles is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So I'm going to get a few initials, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got Q, G, O, D, A, K, C, and V. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the strawberry quartz. So I'm going to be pulling some tarot cards and then just directly channeling messages kind of based on that. I'm going to be doing this from the perspective of the first person, so using pronouns like I, me, and you. And then at the end, I'll look into zodiac signs and get some initials. So for group 3, what does your person want you to know right now from their higher self? Got the King of Swords, Three of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, the Star, and the Fool. I'm getting ready to do something, and it's going to really catch you off guard. It's going to be a surprise. I want to see your face light up again. I want to be the reason you smile once more. This time apart, it's changed a lot within me. In a lot of ways, you wouldn't recognize me, and I hardly recognize myself, and that's a good thing. I've moved beyond some things. Obstacles that I allowed to interfere with what we were trying to build together. Obstacles within myself that made me too stubborn and rigid to change. I thought I had everything figured out. I had mapped out a plan for myself, and things were going beautifully until you appeared. And suddenly, I felt things, something stirring within me that I thought I had moved beyond. I thought I had mastered that part of myself. I thought I had control. But with you, I realized just how helpless it can feel to be swept up in the power of love. And this was very challenging for me. It wasn't neat and tidy and predictable like everything else I valued. There was chaos in this. The chaos of creation, of something unknown, something unimaginable, something I had never experienced before. And I looked at you as my adversary for so long, something that I needed to try and tame, something that I needed to try and fence in, harness, something that I needed to diminish in its fullest capacity, to understand every intricate bit, to learn those inner workings, how all those cogs and mechanisms turned. And the more I tried to keep a distance between us so that I could evaluate things further, so that I could see you move through a variety of environments and circumstances. Little fires that I lit just to see how you would react. Walking around with my can of gasoline, pouring it deliberately on the places I knew would elicit a reaction from you. What came from that was truly unexpected. I expected to be able to unmask your magnificence, to expose something about you, some sort of untruth that would match the doubt that I held in my heart. I was skeptical of you. Are you real? This feels too good to be true. And the more I tried to pry and pick away, the more I was confronted with the reality of that magnificence you hold within. You are who you say you are. You are the genuine article, and that has been so confrontational for me. It has caused me to look around and question all else that I have surrounded myself with. To see plastic when pressed up against flesh, and to really be able to discern and decipher for the first time that what I had valued, what I had been building toward, there was no life to it. There was no depth to it. There was no spirit, no true personality. And it's an uncomfortable feeling. It's a feeling of, what have I been doing this whole time? What are these little robots, these little machines that I've been playing around with? Feeling that I had the upper hand. That I knew better. That I was the one in control. And then when confronted with something so real, so dynamic as you, and as these feelings that came to life within me, I recognized my lack of control and how I was being invited to surrender into this unknowing. And it has taken time to see the power in that. And I'm looking at you and I'm looking at this circumstance from a different angle. We need to talk about a lot of things. And I'm planning my approach. It may seem very sudden to you, very unexpected. There's a newness there. And I know it's going to take work and effort. I'm coming out of my comfort zone and it's hard. I've only ever been like this. And I never really recognized how dormant I was inside till I met you. And as uncomfortable as this shift is, as much as I'm still trying to resist, still trying to just overanalyze, maintain control, make things nice and easy and tidy, I recognize that I'm stuck in place, that life is passing me by, that you are passing me by. And that it's going to take a willingness to leave everything I have known and everything I have known about myself behind in order to explore and experience what feels to be glittering possibilities between us. And here I thought I was the one igniting things, instigating things, changing things. And all the while it was you, cracking me open out of my shell of logic and structure and stubbornness and predictability, and beckoning me to just feel, to unfurl, to release that grip on control and just flow. I'm in a process of dismantling a lot of things in my life. Some of the things I am dismantling are having a ripple effect upon other aspects of my life I thought were unrelated. I'm trying to stay strong and hopeful through this period of release. I'm gripping on for dear life, trying to remain as put together and stoic as I can, to not show and not reveal the full extent of the terror I feel inside as I am witnessing and participating in all of this energy of change. I am being yanked out of my comfort zone, and I'm still resisting. But I'm starting to see that on the other side of that, this newness, these elements within me which have been awakened by you, which have been cracked open by you, that there is more substance to these unknown particles than there is to all which I have been so familiar with for so long. I'm starting to like what I see. I'm starting to like what I'm experiencing, this version of myself that's emerging. And I want to tell you about it. I want to talk to you. I miss us. And I know a lot of that is just, it's in the realm of fantasy, it's in the realm of what if. A lot of it is just a narrative, a version of happiness that I kept within and kept from you. My heart was so closed when we first met, and I forget that sometimes. This idea of happiness with you, it didn't really take place in the material world. The potential for it was there. The opportunity was there. I just had to reach for it. I just had to accept what was being offered to me. But I held back. And that wasn't fair to either of us. But you know what? As much as I have created all these complications, set all these unnecessary standards and rules, this is how it will be. This is the plan. We're sticking to it. Those thoughts of a beautiful future between us that were not in alignment with the reality of what I was able to give and receive from you up to this point, those thoughts are still there, and they're still real. And they're starting to come together in other ways in my material reality. And it's weird. And it's exciting. And it's drawing me past this very stoic stance into this energy of possibility. There's movement that's happening. I'm charting a new course for myself and for us. And I want to tell you about it. I want to come back. I want to come to you more empowered, more certain, and more humble than I have been. I don't know how we can fix this, and I don't know what the future holds for us, but I want to try. I keep telling myself that. I'm changing the story inside, and I'm hoping that that will be enough of a start to change the mechanism of how we relate to one another in the material world. I don't just want to fantasize about you. I don't just want to have this be an untapped potential that didn't fit so neatly in the predictable box I had been living in. I want to stretch beyond my comfort zone. I want to take a chance. I'm working my way towards you, and I am terrified to take that leap of faith. I am holding back. I am holding my breath. And maybe this is for the best right now. There's other things in my environment and in that internal landscape that are just not suitable as the proper growing space for what can germinate between us. I'm trying to tidy things up in big and small ways. And I know that time is of the essence. You have been so patient up to this point. And I don't even know if you feel the same way anymore. There was so much that I held back, so much we should have discussed and didn't, that I'm even uncertain if all of this was just a mirage, or if what I have felt and what we have experienced, is this really true love? Is this really the beginnings of that? Does this really have what it takes to move us to that point together? Here, now, in this world, in this time? It's a mystery. And little by little, I'm leaning into that space of unknowing. I'm dropping my defenses. I'm letting my guard down. I am letting change overtake me. And it's exhilarating and it is terrifying. And I want to move back towards you. And I know you can sense my hesitation. And that's comforting, and it is difficult all at the same time. I am trying to move in silence, and yet it is impossible for me to fully cloak myself from you. And I can't ask you to wait. I can't ask you to put your life on hold while I figure all of this out. But it would be the greatest blessing if you would just give me a little more time to figure all this out. So those are your messages, group 3. In terms of signs with the swords, we have air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Wands is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Pentacles is Earth, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. The Star is Aquarius, and the Fool is Aries. So I'm going to get a few initials, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got N, K, D, L, and V. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.